Ohio.
Ohio.
We're infected with burbs.
Namanya.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Skeleton Crew podcast. I'm Stross, that's Sardo. We're your skeletons, and this is the crew, and this is the podcast of said crew.
Hey everybody, what's up?
I hope you're all having a wonderful week, or I guess Monday, so it's the start of the week. I hope your last week was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah?
hope you're doing well.
We love having good weeks. We don't always get them. You know, Sardo, since we're talking about the birds, we think you should all go watch some Gumi-chan videos.
You definitely should.
Easy serotonin.
Oh yeah, Hideaki Utsumi, who was also the sound director for, namely the Resident Evil games.
First two
Holy
ones.
shit.
Yeah, I know. It's like, wow. Must be interesting knowing that you're more famous for something else, and then it's like, I'm famous for my birds, and then for the things I actually done.
And then like my unbelievably popular like video games that I did stuff for.
Everybody loves the burbs, though. And honestly, I don't think he minds his birds being more popular than him.
Oh yeah, I think he's very happy with it.
He's very at peace with the reality. It's like, yes, I worked on Resident Evil. Also, have you seen my boys?
I think he cares a lot more about his boys.
I agree. I also care very deeply about his boys.
We all do. They're
I
so
would
good.
so kill to hang out with those burbs. Just like, just spend some time with them.
They're very good boards.
They're very good boards. They're good. They're good little feather friends.
So, Stross, we're gonna be talking about something today.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
Um,
Okay, actually, let me put it this way. Remember how last week we were sorry for how long this is gonna get? We're sorry because the content is gonna take some of y'all back.
I want to open this with a song. Can I open this with a song, Stross?
Of course you can.
Okay. It's an anime, and it's not very good. What is it called? Black Butler!
That's not what I thought you were gonna do, but I have accepted that this is what happened.
Da, da, da. Yeah, we're talking about Black Butler today, because a new season was just recently announced. And what year is it, Stross? I don't know.
It is the year of our Domineus 2023. And Black Butler has decided to return. I feel like you know how in The Rise of Skywalker they had that awful line, somehow Palpatine has returned.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that, but for Black Butler specifically.
Somehow Black Butler has returned.
Years later, Black Butler's back, baby. God, remember when we were talking about Edge Runners and we were like, man, this is great. I'm having a great time. Look at this tiny little gremlin girl. Now instead we're going to be talking about Black Butler. I am so sorry.
Y'all ready to have a bad time? And okay,
So you're going to have a good time.
I want to gently preface this by saying, if you really enjoy Black Butler, that's great. I'm very happy for you. This probably isn't the episode for you.
Or it is.
Because
it might be. You might be cool about it.
If we're probably gonna be talking some shit about this series because I just reread. I did my homework, Stross.
Oh,
I
God.
reread, like, I rewatched most of the anime and I reread the first 5 volumes of this series.
God. Okay, today the professional one is you.
Once in a while I'm allowed that. I can hold the brain cell today because it's I always get to hold the brain cell for the bullshit.
I'm so sorry.
If Black Butler is something that you don't want to hear criticized, that's fair. I understand. You should probably listen to another episode. I'm glad you're here. Oh my god.
Oh lordy. So, anyway, Sardo, since you're now the most familiar person, tell me, what is
Yes.
Black Butler about?
Black Butler was originally an anime written and illustrated by Yana Soboso. Originally run in Monthly Jump, I think. I don't know.
No, it wasn't Jump. It's the one by Square Enix, actually.
Monthly. Yeah, it was Square Enix. Monthly G Fantasy since 2006.
G Fantasy. G. The fantasy is for us wanting a better story. Anyway, so what is it about, sir?
Black Butler is about a young boy named Ciel Phantomhive. He is 12. He is the head of a very large company, and he is the Queen's watchdog. He is a narc for the Queen of England because they live in England. It's like the Victorian era, and he has a butler named Sebastian, and Sebastian is a dude.
He's a tall...
Not a human dude.
Oh, no, he's not.
He's some kind of fucking dude. I don't know what that haircut is. I don't understand that haircut. But you've probably seen Sebastian once or twice if you breathe anywhere near anime or manga. He's tall, black-haired fucker in a suit. And spoilers, he's a demon. He's a demon that Ciel has like some kind of contract with. And they go on adventures and they solve mysteries all throughout England. And it's not very good.
It's a story.
Rereading this was an interesting journey for me because I think Black Butler is most known for its kind of gothic, kind of horror-ish elements. You have you have like multiple Grim Reapers. Like Grim Reapers are a whole different entity of being. You have a Grim Reaper with a chainsaw. The less we say about her, the better. We'll talk about Grell. We'll talk about Grell.
It's unavoidable, and you know it.
There's a lot of like fantasy horror elements to it, but it astounded me upon rereading it just how like weirdly goofy and slice of life Black Butler starts out, and it's not a thing of like, you know, oh, it starts out lighthearted and then it becomes dark, and you know, there's kind of that element of like this recurring theme of like Sebastian presenting the day's tea and the day's, you know, meal for Ciel because he is the domestic head of the house, and all of this. It's a weirdly domestic series, but. Yeah. Shit, I don't know, man.
You know, I think the best way to describe it is if like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was just the first few episodes of JoJo's.
You know what? That's a fair comparison. If Phantom Blood sucked.
Well, depending on who you ask.
And it was just. I actually quite enjoyed Phantom Blood.
No, I do like Phantom Blood too, but it'd be like Black Butler is basically like. What if the fun parts of JoJo's never happened?
Yeah. What if it was just all the same thing over and over and over? And also there was like a lot of weird racism and transphobia in there too, and also some other stuff.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot to say. Oh, we're gonna have so much to say.
Oh,
we're gonna be here a while. The regret has begun already.
All regrets.
Only regrets, nothing else.
So, Stross, I've been talking for a little bit. What was your experience with Black Butler?
Okay, so I watched Black Butler in college for my anime club. It just kind of came up.
Yeah.
I can't say it's the worst thing we watched, because we watched Dot Hack Signs, which is something I fucking hate.
Oh.
The most boring fucking anime, and it makes no sense unless you've seen any other dot hack. I'm sorry, if you have to stop your show and have the person who runs the thing stand up in front of the screen going like, okay guys, this is who this is, okay, we good? Start the show up again.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's rough. But I remember watching it. I remember being like fine with it, I guess. It's definitely not the one I liked the most when we were watching it. I definitely not of the new stuff we were watching.
Oh yeah.
Or at least the new stuff to me. I also watched Gankutsuo for the first... Or was it for the first time?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't for the first time, but I know I rewatched it. No, I watched Gankutsuo with my friend Eric in high school. That's great. Go watch that. That's a good show.
Please watch that instead.
That show is insane. Mostly for the colors. Oh, it will hurt. It will burn your eyes, but it's worth it.
It's gorgeous.
But yeah, basically, the day in, day out is, from what I remember, correct me if I'm wrong.
All right.
Is that the story will start out, CL here would be like, oh, we have to do a thing. Sebastian, get me my tea. I'm a little British boy from the Victorian era. If I have any spices, I will die. And then, like, something kind of supernatural happens. It gets solved, like, in 5 minutes. And then they end with CL drinking tea served by Sebastian.
Yes.
And that's kind of every episode.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Well, I'm glad to know that I remembered how this show went. After I haven't seen it in, like, 10 years.
You broke Black Butler down to its bare essentials.
So yeah, we should mention that it is that Black Butler was very popular.
It was insanely popular. And the reason I apologize, I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
It was early aughts. Black Butler was absolutely bonkers. You couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting Black Butler. The reason I feel like I am entitled to talk mad shit about it now is because I loved it growing up.
Okay.
It was my thing when I was in high school.
I mean, it was definitely, it feels like one of those series, like, there's several series you could probably think of that were, like, premiered in the 2000s, and, like, it got a following because we didn't used to get everything like we do now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing that I think the youngins don't understand, is that...
You Gen Zers don't know how good you got it.
Yeah, no, because I remember I was talking to, quite literally, like, a 12-year-old. I'm his weeb father.
Aw, the weeb father.
Yeah, I was his weeb father. And he's a good kid, so this is not a bad thing. It's like I had to explain to him how, like, back in the day, how, like, watching anime went, because it's very different now in the era before streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, like, you since you didn't used to, you only got, like, the stuff that people thought would sell.
Yes.
So what would end up happening is they would bring over the stuff that they think would do well enough to be over here.
And then it was kind of streamlined that this was the shit that got pushed, this was the shit that got popular.
Yeah, basically. So Black Butler is one of the more minor series that got big over here. Like, it's no FMA. We want to preface this, but FMA was, like, a thing.
As it deserved to be.
Yeah. This is more closer to something like Gundam in America, sort of. Yeah. But less, no, that's not fair. Gundam fans are way more dedicated. More like, I don't want to say Samurai Champloo because that feels insulting.
It was a little more niche.
Yeah, it was more like one of the more niche. I would want to say it's like Digimon, to a certain degree, where it's like it never got that big.
It had its own little circle, but
I would say Hetalia, but this is like the less embarrassing version of that.
Somehow.
Remember, folks, Hetalia was the embarrassing one for everyone. including me. I didn't even read Italia, but I was still embarrassed.
Oh,
But
God, this
yeah,
is taking me back to some dark places.
I know, this is taking me back to some places. See, I was lucky. I had the friends I watched anime with, we had, like, I guess, taste, because this is the same friend I watched Mononoke with.
See, you were guided well.
And high school, I also, let's see, I watched Gunslinger Girl.
Uh-huh.
I did watch Kitty Grid, which is terrible.
Never watched it.
Don't worry about it. You missed nothing. Desert Punk was
pretty.
Desert Punk was okay.
Desert Punk was fine.
It's very 2000s though. Around High School Host Club was great. That was a good pick on my part. But yeah, basically, Black Butler was one of those things from the 2000s that I always felt like it had its very, like, dedicated following. You know, minor series. Big hit by anime standards at the time, but minor series in terms of how big it was.
Those bitches loved that skinny twink in the tuxedo.
They did. I mean, it helped that he was voiced by J. Michael Tatum in English.
Yes, and he has a very nice voice.
Very, very. The man does posh well, so.
Oh, yes. Oh, my.
Yes, a lot of that. I mean, this is the Victorian era, so everyone going, oh, yes, oh, my.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
You would be arrested if you didn't talk like that.
Yes, if you weren't acting posh all the time, or very poor,
right.
you would be arrested on the spot.
See, Stross, we don't make much money, so we got to talk like this, you know.
Oh, this is, I would say we're offensive, but I don't care.
I'm very sorry to our one British listener. It was very nice knowing you.
We have a British listener? Oh, thank you.
Not anymore.
Yeah, definitely not anymore. But yeah, Black Butler was one of those things where it was big-ish.
Oh, yeah, and if you were in the right circle of people, it was massive. It was the Yaoi fans who really made it what it was. Let's call a spade a damn shovel here.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The Boys Love group definitely loved it.
Yeah. I mean, first I googled it just so I can have some resources pulled up. And people also ask, is Black Butler a boy's love? Well, Jesus fucking Christ, I hope not.
I mean, the author definitely is. That's the other thing she does. Which is probably why everyone's confused.
And I will say the one nice thing I'm really going to say about this series, lovely art. I love the art style.
Her artwork is incredible. But yeah, you look at characters' outfits, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this might be a boy's love. No, that's just what she does. She does do boys' love, though.
She does. But that's her other thing.
Yeah, that's how she makes the real money. Much like every not safe for work commission makes you way more money than the normal kind.
Oh yeah.
You want to be noticed? Draw some tits.
Hell yeah.
You would know.
Oh, of course. It's my favorite activity.
Of course it is. Everyone loves drawing the boobles.
My favorite activity.
But yeah, I think the best way to describe Black Butler is that within the internet communities who liked guys being dudes, but not enough to like the really large men being dudes.
Guys being dudes for cowards.
Live now from Sardo. If you don't like large muscular men using their titty to stroke off that dick, you are in fact a coward.
You know, you don't have to like big boys being big dudes, but I'm also gonna say I don't respect you.
Yeah, that's fair. But
also,
oh, go ahead.
Go on.
No, you first.
Did you know? This is fascinating to me. Black Butler is a shonen manga, technically.
Well, okay, so this gets into a very interesting discussion, and I've had this with other people. is that
Mhm.
what counts as a shonen is very fascinating to people because it really, the way it's usually done is what magazine it runs in.
Yeah.
Like, shonen isn't by what demographic. Now, when we say it, we usually mean this is for X group. But, like, for example, Inuyasha is a shonen.
Yeah.
So is Ranma one half. So a lot of Rumiko Takahashi's work ran in shonen mangas. But we don't treat it that way because that's not how we view it.
Because I think it's silly.
Well, yeah, I mean, except for when it's a seinen, usually you know why.
You know damn well why.
It's like, yeah, I don't think Case Closed should be running next to Berserk.
Probably not.
That would be hilarious, though.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, did you know Case Closed is still going?
Wow.
Yeah, he's still a child, Sardo.
Oh my god. He's the oldest 12-year-old ever.
But yes, I think... So we established what it is. But I have a question for you, my friend. My skeletal brother from another mother.
Yes, sir.
What is, in your mind, where should we start when we discuss the problems of Black Butler?
Um.
I realized I just asked you, hi, look at this fire. Where do you think it started?
You can't see it. I am rubbing my temples because I like the Grinch, genuinely like the Grinch, because I don't even know where to begin, Stross.
I think I know where I want to begin. And we're gonna
Please.
start with one character. It's not who you're thinking. It's not Sebastian. It's not CL. We are gonna start with the first problem with Black Butler, and that is with someone who works in the household. Her name is Mei Rin.
Ah, yes. Yes.
She's Chinese.
Yep.
And
there are a small handful of Chinese characters in Black Butler, and they are all grim.
it is all the problem is, and it starts with the side cast of characters of how. Okay, I'm gonna say something, and I think you're gonna agree with me when I say this. When it comes to certain manga / anime, especially when it's shonen, usually there are certain characters who matter more than others. Yes. Now that's true of any story, but because usually these stories run a long time, especially if they're popular, certain characters matter way more than others. For example, if you were to say, let's take My Hero Academia, because now that it's ran long enough, it's in vogue to be more critical of it.
Right.
Only 3 characters in that manga truly matter, and their names are Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. Everyone else is just a side character for people who have taste.
This is correct.
Throwing people on the bus.
On all fronts.
Thank you. Especially for my not so subtle dig. Me digging at people, you know it. Be careful. I'm German. If you leave me in a trench long enough, it's going to be well fortified, and don't have any beer and pretzels, it's going to be fortified. I love a good pretzel. Something CL Phantom Hype has never have.
Well, yeah, because if he has salt, he'll die. Because it's spice.
But yeah, so like a lot of these side characters are here for gags 90% of the time.
It's a very cardboard cutout kind of. Yeah, it's gags.
Yeah, like Mayrin. Oh, she's clumsy because she is extremely farsighted. Oh,
Also, she's dumb.
and she's dumb. And then you learn that she's actually very dangerous. Ooh.
Mm.
Hmm.
Everybody in this series is fucking dangerous. That's not special.
Yeah, I know. It's like even like he has like a fiance for CL, and it's like secretly she's a black
It's his
belt.
cousin, of course.
I mean,
He's
it's
betrothed
British.
to his cousin,
It's
as was the fashion at the time.
as was the style at the time. The British aristocracy decided to keep it in house.
Oh, Lizzie, sweetheart, and see, and she's actually one of the few characters that I really do enjoy. Like, Lizzie is like this bubbly young girl. She's sweet. She loves cute shit, and she's also really good at fencing. But we don't find that until it's plot relevant.
Yeah, because suddenly, and I know she was hated by the fan base.
Which
because
is such.
which
Go ahead.
which was, as we've talked about before, very common back in the mid 2000s, where if you were a girl in the way of a popular ship, I'm sorry, you're a problem. Fun fact, I'm just because I'm looking at it. You want to know who she's played by?
Oh,
She is played by one Jeremy Lee, who you've heard last night as Makoto for Persona 5.
hey.
She's been around a long time, actually. She was dubbing
Oh, yeah.
things when she was a child.
Huh. Didn't know
When
that.
she was a little baby.
Oh.
And then she turned into a little adult from all the pictures I've seen of her. We stand a short queen.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, it's like, I feel like when it comes to Black Butler, the first problem is that the only two characters that ever truly matter in any one point is CL and Sebastian. Everyone else doesn't matter.
It's an afterthought.
They are afterthoughts. They're here for the funnies or to cause drama. That's it.
Yes.
When they're not causing drama between each other.
And really, Black Butler is ultimately about, look at how fucking cool Sebastian is. Isn't this guy cool? What if we took Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto, set it in Victorian London, and then played it completely straight?
See, haven't I heard about Sakamoto's great, because Sakamoto being great at everything is the gag.
It's the joke. And I mean, it's sort of the joke here too, but it sucks.
It's a way less good joke. Because it's not a joke.
It's like, wow, this guy's so cool. Isn't he so cool? He's so competent. He's so reliable. And I get it. He's the butler. He's supposed to be. He's like supernaturally good at everything. And it's
I
like,
prefer Alfred.
okay. I also prefer Alfred.
Alfred at least gets the back sass Batman.
Oh, and he's just distinguished. And Alfred is
Alfred
scrumptious.
Pennyworth will absolutely shoot a bitch.
Oh yeah.
Batman has a pact of nonviolence, but I don't.
I won't hesitate, bitch.
Come on. Alfred would never say bitch.
Quite.
He's too good. He is too polite for that.
I won't.
He would
hesitate,
insult you.
sir.
He would insult you in a much deeper fashion.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he's wonderful. But I think like Black Butler's problems are like, if you're not those two characters, you're kind of just there to fill the void of having more characters. Because much like a lot of shonen manga, there are too many characters. Like, you go to the character page and you just go, oh my god, how many people are here?
And Black Butler's cast is not as dense as some other shonen.
It is not Naruto bad.
It's definitely not One Piece bad.
Well,
Even though I love One Piece.
Well, in fairness for One Piece, half of those characters don't show up again.
Yeah.
It's more of they're part of the arc, and then their part is done, and you say goodbye. You're like, auf Wiedersehen, have fun. And they're like, yeah, we will. And then we'll do a dance.
But the Phantom Hive household staff is like, the running joke is that they're like incompetent and Sebastian has to do all the work for them. But Mayrin is especially egregious because of the things you just mentioned.
Yeah, because like her job, she's the one girl character on the staff. We should mention that.
Yeah.
Because you have like Tanaka, Snake, Finney,
So
uh,
and so. What's her
hey,
face?
and
The ugly
Bard. Oh,
one.
that's mean to Bard. He's not that ugly.
No, he's really not.
But like their job here is to like make Sebastian look good, and Mayrin, who's Chinese, gets. Didn't she have an accent in the anime?
I believe she did.
Well, actually, I think everyone had an accent in the anime. That's probably not a good.
Well, they all had it. They all had accents.
I think hers is just broken English. I think that's how she talks in the manga / anime.
In the manga, she speaks pretty like standard boilerplate British.
Maybe she did in both. I don't remember. It's been a while.
No, and Mayrin is not the worst of that. It gets worse. Oh, believe me, it gets worse.
Should we just get it out of the way now?
Yeah, let's. I want to talk specifically because we don't have time to unpack all that. I want to talk specifically about how Black Butler handles Chinese people because, as I said.
Oh, I was going to talk about something else. No, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, I love how we were talking about horrible things. We come up with totally different things. Very good.
You go first. Go ahead.
So there are two other staple Chinese characters in Black Butler. One is Lao. He's like fucking. I have the manga here with me. Where are you fucker? But he's like the head of like he's a business partner of Ciel's. He's like an information broker, and of course he is like the quintessential shady dude. The way he is drawn is not great.
Can I also just say, and this is apropos of very little, but I'm also mad that his company is called Kong Wrong.
Yeah.
This is an insult to the actual Kong Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Bureaucrat extraordinaire of the late Han Dynasty and early Three Kingdoms period. Ha! You thought you were running away from us. You were not. Surprise!
You can't get away from it. You'll never get away.
You'll never get away from Dynasty Warriors references here. Three Kingdoms is forever.
but you have Lao, who is like a shady businessman accomplice to Ciel. That's really mostly all there is to him. And then Lao has a partner, accomplice, friend named Ran Mao, and oh boy. Oh boy, she's I'm trying to think of a way to say this. It's just the handling is atrocious. It's like this weird Orientalist, like it's bad. It's really bad.
She's the stereotypical anime Chinese girl.
Mm-hmm. She has the hair up in bun. She has the cheongsam.
But like up to 11.
Mm-hmm. And she says basically nothing and does whatever Lao tells her to do.
That's awkward.
And it sucks. It really sucks. So, with that, Stross, what else do we want to discuss?
Oh, I was going to talk about Grell.
Oh yes, of course.
I was going into a different direction. Thank you very much.
All right.
Oh Lord.
So Stross, what's the deal with Grell?
Grell, now if I remember correctly, Grell is the Jack the Ripper here in this Victorian London.
She is one half of the actual Jack the Ripper. She was working with somebody. I believe she did the actual killings for the most part.
Yes, the other half of that is CL's really hot aunt.
She's hot and she's gone way too soon.
And-
Madame Red.
Madame Red, you should have stuck around. Oh, played by Romy Park in Japanese.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. another great another role that is probably too dignified for the woman who played her.
Yes.
More so the source material.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Grell is
She's a Grim Reaper.
She's a Grim Reaper, and yeah, that's a thing in this. Don't ask more. It's weird. It's very
a
weird.
Grim Reaper. As I mentioned, there are multiple of them.
Yeah,
they're
multiple.
like a whole thing.
It's like a whole organization of people who do the reaping, which I mean, fair. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who die all the time. You're gonna need more than one person to do it, unless you're like the one from the Seventh Seal.
True.
But well, Grell is. Oh, I don't want to know how. I should just tear the Band-Aid off.
Heck, do it.
Okay, so we first see Grell boy moding as a disguise,
Yes.
and in reality, Grell is not a man, but in fact a trans person. She is,
Yes.
I mean, she's not unpopular.
Oh, she's
very
she's
popular.
extremely popular.
She's probably the largest ship outside of CL and Sebastian, which is like, you can decide how you feel about that on your own time. We're gonna be like, don't. Let's not.
It's like, Jesus fuck, don't. What the hell's wrong with you?
Many things, but not this.
And I mean, you say Grell's popular, and I will say it as somebody who grew up at the time that Black Butler was like super a thing. If I could tell you the effect that Grell Sutcliffe had on the brainscape of every future trans person making original characters at that time period, like every edgy future trans kid.
Yeah. Now, I will say, when we say the problematic aspect here is that it's not that Grell's a murderous weirdo. We stand
No.
women's wrongs, after all.
Good for her.
It's, well,
How
much
she's
like
written.
how she's written is that she's an obsessive.
And also it's very much like played for comedy, that it's like, you know, ooh, Grell calls herself a girl, and that's just silly because we don't think she's a girl. It's I don't know. I'm like doing big hands here trying to like find the right word.
It's a lot. It is a very moment. In fairness, it's kind of us to Black Butler in general. Now that we think about it,
But and also majorly not helped by the massive boys love fan base that this series garnered. Like, you know, ooh, Grell's a boy who calls himself a girl, and he loves Sebastian. He's obsessed with him. And Sebastian thinks it's gross.
I'm pretty sure
And-
Sebastian just hates the idea of sex.
I mean, Sebastian's a literal demon. Like,
Wrath demon, though. Obviously, clearly.
yeah. Yes, and also
if
like,
he was an incubus, he'd be like, "Well, what? What do you want me to do? I've done that 1,000 times."
listen, like, if Grell was obsessed with me, I would be damn grateful for it.
Except for the murder part, and not less the murder part.
That too.
I don't need.
The
I don't
murder part
need.
too.
Yeah, but the point is, Grell's writing is very awkward.
It sucks.
I mean, in fairness, a lot of the writing in Black Butler, in retrospect, isn't very good. So really, it's just stand out because it's probably one of the rare times we get a trans person in like 2000s manga.
And it was this.
Yeah, and it was this. I'm trying to think of any other one that wasn't from from the same time period. Hold on, when did this debut? Let me take a look. See. Come on. Black Butler. Yeah, from 2006. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God, Oh, I know. This appeared along the same time as Orin High School Host Club's anime was coming out. Which makes you suddenly realize how much worse this was, because there was a better option.
Oh, they have no excuse.
I mean, Oron was rare at the time period, so, you know.
That's true.
I'm gonna be nice.
But the thing is about Grell, it's so funny how just the narrative tone can utterly fuck shit up. Because divorced from the utter wet fart of the writing around her, like if you took her just as she is, maybe tweaked some stuff, and plopped her into a better environment, she'd be a fine character.
I feel like that's what we're saying about a lot of these side characters. Like, maybe tweak some things, change some stuff up, and put them somewhere else.
Like, there's nothing inherently wrong about, like... It's just that the way the story treats her sucks, and I'm very sad for her.
Yeah.
Because she's actually really fucking cool, just on her own. She's, like, a cool lady with sharp teeth and a chainsaw.
Yeah. I mean, also, maybe actually let her have some boobles.
That's what she wants, you know? Not every person wants that, though.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, let her go full girl. Give her a nice dress.
Let her dress how she like, but...
Not that she looks bad. We want that to be made abundantly clear.
You know, more than anything, Grell just makes me kind of sad. and not sad in, like, the I'm depressed way, sad in, like, the, oh,
you deserve
kind of way.
You deserved better.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yes, we're very British all of a sudden.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I think the best way to I think we could sum up Black Butler is that it's very 2000s in, like, the bad way. Because, you know, sometimes you go back to, like, your 2000s anime stuff and you go, like, oh, hey, this was actually pretty good. Or, yeah, this has some, like, with a lot of 2000s media, it's like, oh, this was, you know, had some iffy material attached to it. But,
yeah.
like... I could see the finer points and concede what was good about it. Like, oh, yes, S. Cryad is fucking insane and stupid, but I had a great time watching it.
And that's the important thing.
You know, and not everything that is written is good. And sometimes things that are popular are really hard to look back on. Thank God we were not into Hetalia. Thank God.
But thank you for letting me discuss this. I think, honestly, this has just been cathartic for me, and I apologize to anybody who sat down for a nice meal here and got 30 minutes of me just taking a fat fucking shit on Black Butler. But
Sorry, I love how you described that. It's like, oh, excuse me, I'm gonna pop a squat.
Yep, pardon me. But I was reading the first volume a couple nights ago, and I actually got so frustrated I had to put it down and, like, go walk around, do something else for a bit, because it's just like, I got mad because if anything, I just felt like I was wasting my time. And Stross, I'm 30, I'm practically dead. I don't have a lot of time to waste.
I feel like the problem Black Butler had, And the reason why I think it's getting a new anime series is, number one, it's like closing in on like the anniversary of it.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, more importantly, I know that it's like second season is all original. So there's stuff that
Yes.
was missed. Maybe.
Yes, indeed.
I feel like you and I could say maybe this one belongs in 2002.
Sometimes dead is better.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot. Thank you, Stross. I feel like I just throwed up and now I feel better.
I threw up.
I threw up.
So anyway, closing thoughts that you want to have?
On this shit, I don't know. Go watch Oron High School Host Club instead of this.
Yeah, it has some of its awkward moments because it's from like the early to mid 2000s, but look past that and be like, "Oh, this is actually way more better than people might remember." Or not, I don't know.
Do what makes you happy. Follow your joy.
Our joy is eating pork sausages on a warm summer's day.
Hell yeah. But with that sealed, Stross.
Yes, my demon friend. You want
Right.
some tea? Right.
Yes, quite right. What you reading? What you watching? What the hell you watching?
Let's
Fuck,
see.
I fucked that up.
The hell you watching, Sardo?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Currently, I am watching Gundam 0083.
Huh.
It's the one with Miki Matsubara's song "The Winner" as its theme song.
Very nice.
Because I got a burning heart. I'm also... Oh, how is it? I'm only 2 episodes deep, so it's been good so far.
Well, that's good.
Do know that this is the Gundam series that officially began the long-running Gundam tradition of the first half is really good, and the second half is about to go off the rails. It started here, folks, with 0083, Stardust Memories. Which, Stardust Memories sounds like an album title, but, like, not for a band that you want to listen to. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. I've not been watching a lot of new stuff recently.
Mm-hmm.
I squandered most of my precious reading time reading Black fucking Butler.
I wanted to be known. This was not asked.
Oh no, absolutely not. I inflicted this upon myself.
Yeah, I wanted to be known that Sardo did this to himself.
I chose to do it because
you decided on pain.
I can't be happy.
Yes.
I can't be happy.
Indeed.
But that's that.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of weird now because like now I'm back in that like early aughts kind of place. And I'm just thinking about all the shit I watched back then.
Like?
You ever watch Speed Grapher, Stross?
I did not, but I did watch Pumpkin Scissors.
Oh man. I never watched Pumpkin Scissors.
What's
What's it about?
Okay, Pumpkin Scissors is about it's a post-war country.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a group of officers ran by this one lady. Hold on, I need to look some stuff up because it's been a while since I watched/read it. Been a bit. Okay, it's okay, yeah. Basically, it's about this really one large guy who is now part of the War Relief Section 3, aka the Pumpkin Scissors, led by Alice Malvin, who is his love interest. She's a spunky young captain. Well, actually, she's not a captain. What is she? See, second lieutenant. I'm sorry.
Oh.
And they try to solve the problems that the war created and provide relief to the peoples. And all the consequences of the horrible things their country did during the war. It's fun.
I'll have to check it out. It sounds fascinating.
We can watch it together. We can maybe even watch an episode after this. I don't mind. I'm not doing anything else later. It's other than hearing the fucking rain. It's coming down out there. What else did I watch in the early 2000s? I watched Esquire, which was fucking wild. Did you watch?
I have only seen a tiny bit of it.
You didn't. You both missed a lot and nothing at the same time.
It was. I'm not sure how I felt about it.
It's okay. It is so fucking. It's such a wild show. It's one of those shows you saw because it was on TV and you thought it was cool because you watched it.
Yeah.
And I watched it again as an adult in college, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking bonkers. I love it. It's a lot.
We love some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun when you think about it. It's like, man, this shit's fucking nuts. That's a lot of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts.
Let's see. I also remember watching the Sakura Wars anime because, okay, I have a question for you. Very important question. How did outside of watching it on TV, how else did you watch your anime?
DVDs mostly.
Yeah, because like back then, like I would get it either from Netflix or from like the local video store.
Yeah.
And like watch like whatever they had. So sometimes you would watch like episodes very out of order.
Mm-hmm.
So your experience was always kind of weird.
I remember that experience. It was always a little bit surreal.
Oh god, I watched way too much of Love Hina. Much like a lot of other people, I invested way too much time and effort into watching Love Hina.
I remember with a friend, I think this is while we were working on something for a convention, watching, I think, a good chunk of a season of Bakemonogatari completely out of order. And I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Yeah, watching anime back then was always kind of super weird because you would watch like an episode of because you wouldn't always have access to every DVD because episodes used to be sold individually. As you know. So if it wasn't aired on TV and you didn't know like for example, I watched all of Samurai Champloo. It's finally mentioning something that's legitimately good and not me saying like I liked it and thinking it was insane. But like it was really fun. It's a good show. And if it wasn't aired on Adult Swim, I was up way too late to watch it. Which is also how I saw like I got a great story from middle school, Stross. Talking about did you watch Ghost of the Shell Standalone Complex too?
Yes, I did.
I assumed so. A lot of people did.
Yeah.
But I remember watching it, and the next day, it was like oh god, what's the other guy's name? Not Major Kusanagi. Is it Bato?
Probably Bato.
It's the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one played by, I believe, Richard Epcar.
Yeah.
And it was one of his episodes because he was in the Second Vietnam War, which is a hilarious concept. And it's like, oh wow, that woman's wearing an ugly shirt. I'm like, oh wait, no, she got her skin taken off. And the next day at school, I was talking to one of the guys in the grade below me. It's like, yeah, I thought it was an ugly shirt. He was like, oh, me too. It's like, I'm glad it wasn't just me. It's like, oh, thank God. I thought I was the only one who didn't realize what was happening. Because the problem with watching Standalone Complex when you were like 10 years old is not really being able to follow it that easily. Because
I think you lack some of the understanding for it.
Well, no, I think because you were my age when you were watching it too, so you understand what I say when I mean it.
Yeah.
Is there are certain shows that were shown at Adult Swim because they were a bit too violent, or they didn't really fit on Cartoon Network's normal blocks. And then there were things that were on Adult Swim because they were actually meant for someone who had, like, worldly knowledge that you wouldn't have at 10 years old.
Precisely.
And that was one of them. Unlike Fooly Cooly, which, well, that was powered by music and the love of animation.
And that is precisely the sort of thing that should be played at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Right on, shoot it. God, they are so much better live, Sardo. You have no idea.
Oh, I gotta see them.
Well, you need to.
But
anyway.
Well, I think this maybe marks a shorter episode, but that's okay. I mean,
oh God.
Listen, I said what I needed to say.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you just need to get it out. You just need to throw it all up and be like.
And you know, wasn't it Shakespeare who said that brevity was the soul of wit? Good guy Shakespeare. He has nothing to do with this.
There is a William T. Spears, though.
Oh, that's right. There is. Yeah, I forgot he's a character.
Okay, who said brevity is the soul of wit? Hold on, I'm looking that up.
That was Shakespeare.
It was Polonius in Hamlet. There you go. It was actually Shakespeare. I'm like, was that actually Shakespeare? I don't remember. Sorry, my only interaction with Hamlet in a long time was performing it live as Horatio, where I learned a very valuable lesson.
What?
Hamlet might talk the most in that play, but you know who he's talking to, and therefore has the second most amount of lines? Horatio. Oh Lord, did I say a lot of words that evening? And I was like, God damn, when does he shut up?
Horatio, more like Hooray never shuts the fuck up. Horatio.
They don't. Neither of them do. They talk the entire time.
You know, in a way, Hamlet was the world's first podcast. Just two dudes saying shit. Just like this.
Yeah, exactly. The only difference is that's way more high-minded than Black Butler.
I would certainly hope so.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, thank you all for coming. You can follow El Sardo here.
Yes.
The Sardonicus Rex. The terrible lizard of Sardo.
My arms are so small.
My arms are small and I can't scratch my chin. Help. I can't reach. You can follow Sardo at Topsy Garlands on Twitter, which, I mean, I know I put all this stuff down below, but, you know, we gotta say it here, too, because not all of you are going to read the description. You can also follow him at Marky Belial for the art account, and on Monday, so tonight, on Uncle Death, spelled with a K, on twitch.com. Oh, actually, no, it's twitch.tv. I'm sorry.
At twitch.tv.
He'll be streaming some art. I'm going to be there this time.
It'll be good.
Yeah, things will be drawn. I don't know what things, but they will be drawn. Maybe quartered. Because they're traitors.
You know, if I'm so inclined, I just might.
That's a terrible political joke. Hey, you can also follow me at Almighty Stross on all things. Oh. I think everyone heard that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, oh my. Apparently, I have to be... My handles have to be brought in via literal thunder and lightning. But, yeah, Almighty Strauss on Twitter, on Twitch, on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So tomorrow night, Sardo and I are probably going to be once again going through Persona 5 stuff. We've been having a great time.
I've been having so much fun.
We've been having so much fun. You should come. We're skeletons on the internet.
Yes.
Awesome. We've managed to make this episode an hour long, Sardo. How do you feel?
Proud of us.
I'm so proud of us. We're all so proud of ourselves, but not proud of us watching Black Butler. It's not the worst thing I ever watched. I watched Master of Martial Arts, and that's way worse. That's a story for a different time. Good night, folks. Have a wonderful evening. Everybody. Or wonderful day. I don't know when you're listening to this. You could be listening to this... Okay, what happens if they're listening to it at, like, the space between, like, midnight and, like, 11:59? So it's not quite night, but it's not quite morning.
You should probably go to bed soon.
Yeah, Sardo, you forget who you're talking to.
I say probably. I can't tell what to do. They're grown people.
No, I'm saying me.
Oh. Go the fuck to sleep, Stross.
No, it's 10:30. I got work to do.
Oh, okay. Well, you can stay up a little while longer then.
Anyway, goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next time when we're going to talk about either a Neil Breen movie or, I don't know, maybe something else. We'll see.
Good night.
I see you decided to take... I was like, is that how we're ending this? And the answer is yes.